Thank you. You may be seated. It is my pleasure to introduce Salutatorian Raina Dyke.
Here's to hoping I don't start. Welcome, fellow graduates and family. It's such a blessing that we are here together celebrating our fantastic occasion. This momentous event, I know, has had many of us very introspective, analyzing the last 13 years, turning over memories again and again. When I was told I had to write a speech to hundreds of people, I found myself combing through everything I could remember about it. I realized that the common denominator throughout, not just learning in the classroom, but from our families, our peers, our jobs, and in all aspects. When we were bright-eyed kindergartners, we wanted to learn everything about everything. The world around us was big and magical. On the playground, we would catch caterpillars and run through the field with an insatiable wanderlust love of nature. We began to acknowledge our situations and our environment. If someone asked us to describe ourselves, we would share that we had a mom, a dad, brother, or sister, that we had to chase our dog down the street last weekend. We learned what teams our family roots for, or how to play football, basketball, or soccer. We learned patience and that growing was going to take time. We learned how to perceive what was around us and what it meant. Then there was the absolutely terrifying transition to middle school. Every moment felt life-changing, like a pivot point for forever, even though there was a lot we probably chose to forget. In a series of phases we look back on and probably cringe, we started to find the person that fit best, the one that was natural, easy to maintain. We started to have a true understanding of our likes and dislikes and began to make meaningful connections with our peers that started to develop. We learned that perseverance through change was just as important as the change itself. Entering high school, we thought we knew who we were. We left middle school with the confidence of thinking that we had found ourselves. I personally did not have the foresight to realize that each of the 4 years of high school would present a distinct person and personality. We could not have known that the transformation that would occur within us each and every day, sometimes better, sometimes worse, would develop our character and change us. Some of us grew together and others apart, and we didn't know that high school would trigger a piece that would show us our greater person. Our time here would correlate to a deeper intellectual and emotional understanding of our loved ones. We learned to be more empathetic, understanding, and to be stronger. Above all, dedication to positive change relieves the path to finding. Now that we had a chance to look back and see how we learned, grew, and changed, we have the confidence that we need to say goodbye to our child, not fearing much. Anthony Hamilton once said, "I learned patience, perseverance, and dedication. Now I really know myself and I know my voice." Through all of high school's highs and lows, we have truly found our voice, concluding that the most important thing we learned is ourselves. And now we can confidently figure out the world. Thank you. Now introducing Valedictorian.
Hi. Okay. Marie Curie, physicist famous for her work in radioactivity, believed nothing in life is to be feared, it is only to be understood. That is certainly true because I am not terrified right now standing in front of my peers and their families and my family and my school faculty trying to sound sophisticated and serene. I understand. My peers and I do not fear this next step in our lives, and our parents fully grasp this new journey into independence we are beginning. The world fully understands the unprecedented times we live in. When choosing the quote to be the foundation of the speech, and in turn our entire class, I wanted to be honest. I did not want to simply pick something that sounded overly optimistic and motivational, and ended up writing a forgettable speech because this is not a forgettable year, and we are not a forgettable class. So when I could not find something that explained how I feel we all felt about our senior year and our futures, I decided to take a different approach. As our dutiful teachers have taught us over these past semesters, a good paper qualifies an argument. They'll present both sides of the story, and though you may pick one for the bulk of the argument, you still accept the truths of the other. We have been taught to be fearless, to charge forward with courage, when the world stands against us. We must only fear fear itself and leave all other things behind. And if we cannot face our fears, we must hide it. Don't let anyone know we are afraid. We must treat this fundamental aspect of life as if it were a switch to be turned off. Simple, easy. There's nothing in life. Yet people don't understand that we are at a crossroads, making decisions for our future when we barely know what we want for breakfast. We try to be like our heroes the world wants us to be, but when that fear creeps in, we think we can't. All of the motivational quotes and clinging to branches, saying, hang in there, seem cheesy, but they've been so ingrained in our minds that we are afraid to be anything else. To be nervous or scared about our future is to care for. We want to be world changers, the generation that changes things for those who are wrong in the past and makes the foundation for those in the future. And yet, it's because we care so much for our future that we may be afraid. However, this fear is a delicate that not must be used for evil or our own self-doubt, but to empower, encourage, and understand ourselves. This next step in our lives is about understanding, and therefore will be daunting, because without understanding, there is no fear. We will learn to understand who we are and what our place in the big wide world is. And though we may be completely over the whole learning thing, we need to get into the next 4 years, 5 years, 10 years prepared to discover. Our discoveries may be scary, but they can also be happy, sad, exciting, and profound, all in the same breath. Without recognizing our fears, we cannot take this step into understanding ourselves, who we will become. Without recognizing our fears, we cannot embrace the passions of our future discoveries. Nothing in life is feared, it is only to be understood. Now is the time to understand more so we may fear less. Yes, Madam Curie, must not be afraid, but most importantly, we must not be afraid to be a little afraid, because once we acknowledge our fears, we are one step closer to understanding them and eventually conquering. So on behalf of the graduating class, I want to thank all of you for being here today. Thank you to the families who have raised us, friends who have supported us, and the teachers who have taught us. We may be nervous about what awaits us, but that means we are already halfway.
School board member Watkins, Dr. Gresham, faculty, students, parents, and other honored guests. Graduation is a celebration of years of hard work, not just by the students, but by a team of people who have supported these young people. This has never been more true than for the class of 2021. It took a lot of people working very hard to get these students to this accomplishment. So I think it is appropriate to take this opportunity to thank a couple of those groups that have been instrumental in making this celebration possible. First, to the teachers and staff that have worked tirelessly to help prepare these students. From the first teacher in kindergarten to the teacher working to help these students pass exams just a few days ago, well, without the dedication and passionate teachers and staff members, many of these students would not have achieved their goals. Students and parents, let us recognize the teachers and staff that have touched your lives along the way. To the parents who help to mold the children before they appear on the doorstep of the school and who support the students throughout their journey. Dacula schools are built on a great relationship between schools and the community. At the root of this relationship are great parents who will do anything it takes to help their child be successful. So students, let us thank your parents for helping you reach this point. Finally, to the Dacula High School graduates of 2021. I am so proud of this senior class, and I appreciate you more than any class in my previous 10 years at Dacula High School. I have never seen students faced with more challenges than those you faced this year. In a dark and difficult time in the world, people had to make difficult choices about what life would look like and how to navigate in a pandemic world. But to me, you were a shining light across this country. You did things that many people thought were impossible. A couple of years ago in a pep rally, I broke down a door with a sledgehammer, and I told you you had to be willing to break down whatever stood in your way if you wanted to go get your dreams. I never imagined the challenges you would face or how formidable the door that would stand in the way of your dreams. However, I know that Dacula students, you are better prepared than most to knock down that door. You'd done digital learning days years before COVID. You'd used instructional technology in virtually every class before you were forced to learn remotely. Your teachers were rock stars who were ready to take on the massive challenges of concurrent instruction. So even with the unprecedented door blocking you from your dreams, you had the sledgehammer in your hands. However, I know that door was still formidable. I know it was still hard to swing that sledgehammer day after day. For digital learners, Zoom and digital classroom gets old really quickly. And for in-person kids, socially distanced classes just don't have the same energy and excitement of a normal class. So I know that you had to force yourself to keep swinging that sledgehammer, even if you knew you were ready to stop. And you did it. Despite the challenges, you learned. You earned your credits, and in a couple of minutes, we'll put a diploma in your hands. And you followed the safety protocols that allowed the district to start to reopen more and more opportunities for your class. You even played sports, had concerts, earned scholarships, had award ceremonies, and even had a prom. Prior to this year, I have never really appreciated seeing kids playing sports, seeing parents in the stands at awards night, seeing you guys dressed up at prom, but I appreciated it this year. In one of the darkest times in recent history, you guys were shining brighter and brighter as the year progressed until today, when you shine like stars, showing this world that we can get through this pandemic, and every adult in this room appreciate the graduation ceremony more than we have ever appreciated one before. I've never been more excited to hand out diplomas, but I will ask one more thing of you before I give you that diploma. Keep swinging that sledgehammer. If COVID's taught you anything, it's taught you that when the going gets tough, you can do it. When the rest of the world tells you you can't, show them you can overcome. Just keep swinging that sledgehammer and go get your dream. It has been my honor and privilege to serve as your principal. We love you and wish you great success in all your future endeavors. At this time, by the power vested in me and based on the fulfillment of graduation requirements set forth by the state of Georgia and Gwinnett County Public Schools, I officially release the diplomas to the 2021 graduates of Dacula High School.
Card. Caitlin Allison Coker. Raina Elizabeth Dyke. Bryce Leonardo Oral Watson. Caleb Joseph Butcher. Kai Law Wizard. Shivani Ashok Varani. Noor Ahmadi. Jalen Michael Cawley. Ethan Daniel Brown. Jerissa Isabel Navarro. Giannis Abdul Kadir. Adley Acevedo Ayala. Grace Catherine Adams. Kenneth Jansen Adams. Janelle Adabuji.
James Aguiar. Bernice Ampofo. Jaswar Ankra. Brian Thomas Arriaga. Mackenzie Grace Arrington. Joe Aruna. Jesutosin Aldella. Riley Elizabeth Ballou. Jacob Bartholomew. James Brannon Bass. Kylie Grace Bass. Stephanie Miriam Beltran. Aaliyah Jade Benton. Azka Pati. Samuel Austin Black. Joshua L. Bradford. Zachary Richard Brambley. Gianna Musette Bresenio. Piper Dawn Brown. Ken Bowie. Molly Elizabeth Bunn. Benjamin C. Butcher. Erica T. Bice. Lloyd Jackson Byers II. Alina Calderon. David Elijah Campbell. Haley Marie Cardwell. Nadia Chanley Vong. Evangeline Chittimaha. Carson Colton. Emily Ann Cohn. Alexander John Crabb. John Henry Curtis. Dylan Alexander D'Amato. Alyssa Faith Emily Dawkins. Harper Maxwell Day. Jessica Ann Donaldson. Aminatu Dukure. Caleb Thomas Edwards. Jocelyn Melody Elkins. Michaela Reese English. Carla Nicole Ferreras. Haley Morgan Forestier. Jasmine Vanette Gideon. Skylar Alexis Germani. Juan Pablo Hidalgo. Kayla Grace Gasaif. Nadia Tatiana Hanseri. Logan Brant Hardy. Layla B. Haruna. Gabrielle Joashley Harvey. Benjamin Joseph Hedges. Ariane Tashawn Hendrick. Kyle Ashton Hinson. Corey Mackenzie Hoffman. Skylar Caitlin Honeycutt. Mallory Catherine Horton. Sukana Husan. Reginald Isilian. Jashandria Jackson. Catherine Andrea Jalou. Jose Julian Jarquin. Jalea Naomi Jennings. Nasia D. Jones. Emanuela Kai Zovwe. Tiandria Kimberly Lamont. Stephen Orlando Leggett. Lauren Elizabeth Leachty. Andre Lizardo. Ariana Romina Lolandis. Kinsey Malin Long. Sydney Lauren Majors. Nurka Manriquez Aranda. Christopher Jacob Marsh. Annabelle Hope Mariscano. Alexis Nicole Martin. Ashley Michelle Meza. Grace Ann Miller. Manuel Miranda Duran Jr. Elaine Marie Mitchell. Narciso A. Moquette Terrero. Matthew Barry Morganroth. Michael J. Morris. Gabriel S. Morrow. Brandon Ricardo Navarro. Dylan Anthony Noche. Charles R. Novell III. Sitlali Jacqueline Noyola Caracho. Rebecca Catherine Ogden. Christine Opuku. Sonia Yu Orji. Summer Dawn Megan Painter. Dylan Kennard Patharenegay. Joyez Pierre Jean. Dejanay Nicole Porter. Isabel Maggie Pugh. Gabriel Alexander Probe. Abigail S. Puckett. Amani Ramsdell. Joshua Rincon Castro. Sierra Octavia Valerie Roberts. Diana Rodriguez. Tracy Denise Rodriguez. Brianna Christine Root. Michelle Ruiz. Daniel Antonio Santiago Martinez. Hannah Scherer. Justin Tanner Smith. Haley E. Stevens. Renette Kyra Fopa Choksi. Mukaji Mwenyi Chizwaka. Jaden Alexis Tull. Joshua Umenora. Karen Ived Villalobos. Summer S. Walker. Alicia Leilani Westerfield. Joseph Nikolai Wilhelm. Sapphire S. Williams. Pedro Praise Wings. Joshua 1. Ashton Ken Jong. Dakota Yang. Brittany N. Zalea.
Michaela Abraham. Mario Acevedo. Hanifa Adanijo. Janet Ajiman. Jonathan A. Alexis. Jalen Marcus Allen. Dede M. Amizo. Jazir Ankra. Yamaris Arichadara. David Armenta. Tracy Ai. Aziza A. Ashi Suleiman. John Asola. Sebastian Avram. Jerson Caleb Ayala. David Boffey. Dylan Mark Bailey. Naomi Laurel Bain. Matthew Banks. Jeremiah Elijah Barton. Darius K. Basant. Brooklyn Maria Best. Alexander D. Bevzan. Nathan Walker Bickle. Jemiah Blackman. Daniel Tucker Blomgren. Jalen D. Bonner. Christy Anna Marie Boswell. Tristan A. Boswell. Sydney Elizabeth Bolware. Ella Rose Brantley. Giovanni Breary. Courtney Gabrielle Briggs. Darren LaShawn Brown. Eric James Brown. Jalen Elijah Brown. Caleb Lamar Brown. Savannah Marie Brown. Brianna Z. Bryan. Adam Harper Burtz. Egypt Bird. Nariah Janae Caldwell. Bryce Calhoun. Giovanni Javier Collix. Joshua Camacho. Tamia Hansler. Morgan Christine Chappell. Sol A. Cisneros. Demetria L. Clark. Donasia Janice Alicia Clark. Isabel Grace Clark. Jalen Klein. Shane T. Cody. Declan Gray Coffey. Tania M. Cole. Terrence Keith Collins. Casey E. Cotton Jr. Leah Nichelle Crawford. Richard Pucci. Lauren A. Cummings. Hisham Darwish. James Aiden DeVell. Jeremiah Davis. Dominus J. Davis Williams.
Season Marie Paulette Dickinson. Courtney Cheyenne Doty. Raven Ashani Dotson Butler. Daniela Marie Dole. Scotty Chad Dorisme. Olivia Grace Dyson. Clark Cross Ellis. Diego D. Esperanza Bojaca. Mario Alejandro Esquivel. Olivia Lacey Falica. Fritz Nelson Fetney. Xavier Fenwick. Michael Edward Fisher. Natalie V. Flamenco. Cole Elliott Fleming. Kiara Florimond. Catherine Sadai Flores. Janaya Onise Flowers. Adrian Joseph Fluker. Spencer Cole Fox. Anthony Keith Franklin. Allison M. Freelove. Sydney Michelle Friedman. Brian Garcia. Camry Layla Gary. Ayat Mohidian Galib. Isaac Christopher Gerlach. Kevon Donovan Grant. Emma Shea Grassman. Giovanni Andrew Gregoire. Isabella Nicole Griffiths. Alyssa Nyree Grubbs. Christina Morgan Haber. Riley Kaylin Hagan. Dylan M. Hand. Nicholas S. Haney. Caden McKenna Ansley Harris. Taj Omari Harris. Michaela Paige Hawkins. Brian Alexis Hernandez. Alicia Tiara Hicks. Maximus Hightower. Brian Khalil Hilliard. Kalia R. Hines. Charles Benjamin Hodge II. Zanaya Mackenzie Holmes. Kara Ann Hoskins. Kayla Alexis Hudgens. Kenneth Joseph Hudgens. Danae Ayana Izzard. Malachi Jabril James. Umanullah John. Ahmed John. Joshua Blaine Jenkins. Cameron Markel Jeter. Shakina June. Lakira O. Johnson. Lanaya Olivia Johnson. Naya J. Johnson. Stefan Blake Johnson. Kendall Nicole Jolly. Tamaya Selena Jones. China Nevea Faith Joyner. Lukando M. Kapajipanga. Benjamin Carrick. Taylor Morgan Kern. William P. Kahn. Andrew John Klein.
Edward Kubinjay. Shiva Sam Kumar. Darren Xavier L. Lawson Azianko. Andrew Davis Ledbetter. Daniel Mauricio Limas. Julie Zara Leopold. Bobby Lee Lewis. Tavon Isaiah Lewis. Emmanuel Lacona. Sincere Dwayne Littlejohn. Linnea Amani Littleton. Harris Ubonchich. Kamaya Alani Locke. Jessica Michelle Lockerman. Samantha Marie Lodge. Yashira Jeanette Lopez. Jocelyn Diane Lopez Guerra. Victoria Belen Lopez Gonzalez. Yair Lopez Salceda. Diego Ticas. Jade Martina Mansogo. Zuri D. Mapp. Maria Marquez. Oscar Daniel Martinez. Amari Matz. Mary Elizabeth Mason. Nicholas Brandt Matheny. Merlin V. Matthew. Asuado G. Mayorga Alvarez. Maxwell Kent McCaffrey. Skylar Cade McCoy. Tyreek McDaniel. Brendan Connor McGee. Curie McInnes. Mikhail Alexander McKenzie. Josue Adonai Mejia. Stella Nia Mitchell. Cooper Rainey Montgomery. Emily Morales. Nigel Marcus Morales. Terrence Malik Morse II. Amaya A. Mosley. Davis Scott Mosley. Trinity Ungazi Moet. William Estes Murphy. Suring Mulet. Warren Thomas Nash. Christopher Deshawn Neuro. Ryan P. Nguyen. Chinyora Wachaku. Ronald Emmanuel O'Reilly. Gretchen Annabelle Obas. Daniel J. Abua. Navia Obwekwe. Dozie Ohayaga. Gloria Olujawigbe. Adobe Anyujogu. Lance Marius Palmer. Ava Marie Phelan Polini. Natalie Parham. Nikayla Jade Parker. Nathaniel Justin Peak. Gabriella S. Paramal. Evan Giovanni Petrella. Joseph William Petrosi. Sarah Nitzi Philistine. Shantasia Lachey Phillips. Catherine Haley Pierce. Iman K. Pittman. David Alberto Quintero. Miguel Angel Ramirez. Vanessa Ramirez. Avery Danielle Randall.
Makai S. Redden. Nana Adaje Ofud Dixon. Riley Webb Redman. Caleb Gabriel Reed. Levis Antonio Reyes. Samantha Alexa Reyes. Xavier Ethan Anderson Roberts. Danielle Marie Robinson. Ronell Cassia Robinson. Douglas Matthew Rose. Andrew W. Rowe. Edith Rubio. Chloe Isabella Russell. Emily Nicole Cyans. Solange Wazan Sahi. Jalen Amer Sala. Alicia Sam. Sean Anthony Saunders. Amita Divine Scott. Matthew Isaiah Scott. Sabrina Shanette Scott. Savon Shane Scott. Kimberly Elizabeth Sereno. Harrison King Sawanu. Delman Seward Simpson Jr. Micaiah Monet Sims. AJ P. Singh. Chadwayne J. Smith. Claire Elizabeth Smith. Jamari Anthony Smith. Keith Jarvis Smith. Michael Alexander Smith. Dilene Samantha Soto Lombo. Akayla Danae Stewart. Luke Walker Roland Strickland. Risakat Tokumbo Tade. McDonald K. Tando. Aleslyn Crystal Tapia. Alexander Tapia. Christopher Tejeda Checo. Evan A. Terrell. Paula Ailele Teta. Bianca G. Teti Inyo. Andrea Lee Thomas. Hunter Richard Thompson. Keyshawn Victor Thompson. Alma Torres. Omar Trejo. Tiana A. Trice. Lauren A. Tuggle. Grayson Lee Vickers. Brianna Cheyenne Victor. Elisa B. Vlad. Megan Joan Walton. Kayla Marie Ware. Adam Dereni Watkins. Dontrell Dyer Watkins. Caitlin Jean Marie Wheeler. Kyla Trishelle White. Janae Lashee Janelle Wiley. Donovan Blake Williams. Kamari Tremaine Williams. Bryce Alexander Wilson. Hezekiah Joshua Wilson. Megan Lynn Wiltsey. Zoe Ruby Whitty. Jakaya Vontria Wood. Samaya Corinne Wood. Amanda S. Woosie. Jocelyn Raquel Yanez Soto. Jeffrey Chufu Yang. Theodore G. Young. Nyson Shaquan Banks.
The reversing of class rings. Okay. The reversing of class rings shows the passing of your high school years and the entering into the world. You are no longer sheltered by your parents or the school, but are of the world. Please reverse your rings so the DHS faces outward. We move the tassel to the opposite side to signal your growth, maturity, and the leaving of high school. Please move your tassel from the right to the left. At this time, please rise and join us as our senior chorus members lead us in singing of the alma mater.
Our somewhat and merry
Faculty, students, parents, and honored guests, it gives me great pleasure to present to you the Dacula High School graduating class of 2021. That does conclude the ceremony. Thank you for your participation. Just a reminder, no parents are allowed on the floor. One family, one Dacula.